The Beinecke Library was a grand library. It had some rare and magnificent books, some ancient books of magic and spells. Talia had a friend who was more than willing to help her take these maleficent spells away from her and her children. Please help me find some books, some ancient magic books. I need them. Talia knew that this could be dangerous. She knew that she didn't have any idea how this would turn out. She was looking for this restricted section of magic books. She knew that this was somewhere in this library. And when she knew where to find it, she went and she rented a special workplace so she could look everything up on her own. It was dangerous, and she wouldn't be innocent anymore. She had witnessed too much in the past years. One child from a mogul that wasn't really interested in her child. She was pregnant with another child from a vampire that cared so much about her child with a mogul. The first child with a vampire, beloved Theodore, had suddenly vanished and disappeared. This was a very bad spell and she knew it. And she really wanted to get Theodore back. And she knew that this would happen if she would fall pregnant again with the same vampire, with Damon Salvatore. But how could she prevent the unhappy situation to happen again? That's why she was in this library. That's why she was looking up books. That's why she knew that she had some terrible things that she had to do. She knew that she will have to hurt a lot of people, but her children were the most important things, the most cherished things in her life, and she would risk everything to get them safely through life. She knew that the hours she spent here in the library would change her life, because she would find out about horrible things to do. She found out she had to cheat death. But she knew in the end everything would turn right. She would earn the 100,000 simoleons, and she would finally be able to live happily ever after with her children. All she had to do now is do something very terrible. She said goodbye to the librarian. She knew the librarian would think bad of her, but she had to do this, and she would maybe never return back to the library and read about these horrible and ancient things again. She was very excited, afraid because of the birth of her Theodore, but very excited that maybe she had found a way to turn away bad things from her and her children. Next to the Beinecke Library was this wonderful cafe, museum and art gallery. It was built as a modern extension to the Beinecke Library by the wonderful architect Foslu Georgia. She was happy to spend some time there. It was peaceful and beautiful, and the white furniture made her feel clean and good, because some very dark things would happen soon, so she had to be somewhere where it was clean, where it was bright, and where white light was all around her, shining like an angel that would hopefully help her and stand by her in all these dark times. She felt very alone because she knew she had friends, she had her children. The phone was ringing. It was Damon. He said he wanted to do a party at the Salvatore Fortress for the upcoming birth of son Theodore. Theodore would come back from the spell that had taken him away to darker places. Theodore would come back, newly born. Everything would be all right at last. Talia knew that she had to calm herself down. She looked at this beautiful painting, just feeling that she had some calm inside of her, some peace, because she knew she had done everything to help her children. Painting was a way for her to feel better, to find to her inner peace and strength. Painting would help her to accomplish what she had to do. In the evening she came home to her sweet daughter Brittany. Brittany had to spend another day without her mom, and Talia tried as best as she could to explain to her daughter what was happening. Maybe, she thought, I can explain Brittany by telling her a story. A long time ago, there was this princess. She had to live in a very filthy apartment. She was there with her daughter. They didn't have a lot, but they had love and they cherished each other. She had a second child, a special vampire child called Theodore, but Theodore disappeared. And the Princess Talia did everything to get Theodore back. And Brittany was such a strong and young princess. She waited patiently at home until her mom came back with Prince Theodore. Of course, Brittany tried to understand, but Brittany was also a small toddler. Brittany needed her mom. And although there was a very, very kind nanny that cared about Brittany, Brittany still felt sad, and she hoped that her mom would be back with her again, back with her and Theodore. I know, it's dangerous. Talia tried to explain to the nanny that it was the only thing she was able to do to get back her son and to make him live. It's important that I do this. It's important because I can't risk anymore that Theodore will be taken away. And if I do it, then the circle will be closed. She hoped she could sleep because she needed all her strength for the next day. the next day, the day of the party. We will go to a party, Brittany. There will be a lot of people. 3 people will be very important. Your daddy Farhan will be there, and try to be nice to him. I know he doesn't really care for you, but we still need him. We need this TV show to survive and to get to our dream house. There will also be Damon. You love Damon. He's always taking care of you. And Damon is also the father of your brother Theodore. And Theodore will come back. And he will not only come back, but he will live with us. And he won't go anywhere. But Mommy has to do something. And this is dangerous. This could hurt them. Mommy has to talk to Farhan, and Mommy has to talk to Damon. She has to get their consent. Some gardening and some painting would put Talia in the right mood to be ready for the party and ready for everything that would come her way, good and evil. The city of San Myshuno was so peaceful today. Nobody knew what would happen in a forgotten town like Forgotten Hollow, in a creepy castle, in the Salvatore fortress. There would be a party, but in fact it was not a party for a son that would be born. In fact, it was a happening, a gathering for 3 very special men in Talia's life. Talia knew that having 3 men there at the party would be very difficult. She despised it, but she had to show the Grim Reaper that Theodore was inside and that Theodore was a child that had to live. She gave the Grim Reaper an apartment key so he could go and come as he pleased. Damon had prepared the Salvatore fortress and made it a beautiful, welcoming area for all the guests. Some caterer was preparing some food in the kitchen. The grand living room was filled with fire and laughter, and the bartender was preparing special drinks for the guests. There was some piano music playing, everything to make everyone feel all right. The kids' room was ready for Brittany to go play there. But first, everyone went to the bar. Everyone was dancing. There was some music, and people seemed to enjoy themselves. Natalia knew that this was the moment where she had to talk to them all. This was the moment she had to ask them for permission to do what she had to do. Damon, I know this is going to be difficult for you. I love you and you know that. And I love the fact that you care so much about my daughter Brittany, that you were the best dad to Theodore. I don't blame you for Theodore's disappearance, but I need you to help me. I need you to be willing to let me do what I have to do. Damon was a very powerful vampire, and Damon knew that he had to step back from the things he wanted to do for the greater good, that his son Theodore could grow up and live happily with his mother. Talia knew the moment was coming soon, and she was so happy that Damon took so good care of her little daughter. Farhan was here, Grimmy was here, and Damon, they were all here dancing. It was getting darker outside, and soon everyone would disappear. Talia had to seduce the Grim Reaper because he wasn't allowed in her conversation with Farhan and Damon. So it was very important that he left the premises with everyone else. Her back hurt so much. The baby could be due any moment. She's making jokes, she's trying to laugh, although nothing is really funny. The moment is coming, the moment of truth. Will two men in her life, will they say yes? Will they give their consent? Don't push me away, Farhan. I'm pregnant and we have a daughter together, and I'm the star of your TV show. I know you don't like what I'm doing, but it's for the better. And you, Damon, please don't be mad. I have to do this. I love you both. I have 2 children. I love them so much, and you are their fathers. We are a big family. But I need to do something you won't like. I can't really tell you what it is, but I have to do it. Please say yes, please let me do this. For our daughter Brittany and for our son Theodore. You can do this. I'm okay with it, Farhan said. And you, Damon? I know you are sad. I know you want us to live with you in your big Salvatore fortress. I know you built this house for us. You made a nursery for the kids. You made a really beautiful fortress. But you have to understand that in order that everything goes right, we have to get some money and we have to earn everything that we can have our penthouse. And then finally we can be reunited and we can live together. But it's too dangerous for Brittany to live in Forgotten Hollow. Although the Salvatore fortress is a very strong fortress, it's too dangerous for a non-vampire child to live there. And I know, Damon, you love Brittany like it was your own daughter. So I have to do this. But now I have to let my daughter have some time to play. I want my daughter to enjoy that she's a toddler and that she has a lot of daddies and a lot of things to play with. I want her to be this innocent child. I want her to be happy. To forget for 1 second that her mom has to do terrible things, that she is not around a lot, and that maybe dangerous times will come, that they will have to live in a very, very filthy apartment for a long time, that it will be difficult, but that Brittany had so many people that loved her. A father that was not able to take responsibilities, but he loved her still, and he was so happy that there was Damon the vampire that cared about Brittany. Go to sleep, my sweet child. When I wake you up in the middle of the night, you will know that your brother Theodore will come back very, very soon. Talia went into the kitchen to calm herself. She knew in the hospital it wouldn't be easy, because the doctor really had to promise her that he wouldn't tell anyone that a vampire would be born. Farhan tried to take comfort in the cellar where the vampire origin of Damon was situated, his coffin, and where Theodore was created. Thalia knew that although Farhan and Damon had given her the consent she needed, that they were still angry, that they were still sad, and that they didn't like it at all. They thought it was too dangerous, it was too much of a risk. Farhan was really sad because he was the producer of the show. It was so important for him that the show had good quotes, that a lot of people were watching this show. But he grew to like Talia, and he had a daughter after all, although they didn't live with him and his brother Asa. Damon knew that it was so dangerous. Damon, a creature of supernatural power. But Talia told Farhan, "Don't you worry, it will be good for the show. It will be good." And then, before she went to bed, she had to see Damon for one last time. She wanted to tell him that what she was about to do wouldn't change her feelings for Damon in any way, but Damon was happy for Talia that she would be able to live in peace with her children, but still he loved her and he cared for her, and he thought it was so dangerous. He wanted her to rest for the last hours before the baby was born. It was very important that she had all her strength and her forces together, because a lot would happen in a very short time. Brittany was sleeping and dreaming about her brother Theodore. Talia felt very unwell. She knew it was time to go to the hospital. So she went there with Damon and with Brittany. Damon was staying outside in the sun, although he hurt, but he wanted to take care of Brittany, take care of her and protect her. She wasn't allowed to go inside, nor was the doctor, because when a vampire child is born, some strange things happen, and when the vampire child is reborn, it's even stranger because the child disappears suddenly. Talia just hoped that when she got home, Theodore would be there. And it was Brittany's birthday, so Brittany wouldn't be a toddler anymore. She would be a child, so she could take care and look after her brother Theodore. Theodore was still a baby for the moment, but Theodore would be a toddler soon. Talia helped her blow out the candles. Brittany aged up into a beautiful girl. Talia was so proud and happy of her daughter Brittany. They had spent so much, they had gone through so much together, but they were united as a lovely family. Brittany knew a little bit about what Talia had to do. Brittany was a strong and special child. She was the good spirit and the angel of the family. She knew she had to protect her little brother Theodore. This was the moment. Theodore is back. He looks a little bit different, but he is still the same vampire child, the same vampire toddler Theodore that needs a lot of care. Farhan came over, Demon came over, and last but not least, someone else joined them. Someone else that will play a very important role in what is about to happen in a few minutes. Talia disappeared with the Grim Reaper to a very special place. She knew she had to do this. She had to seduce him, and he told her that he would be willing to do it. Because, you see, if you are having a kid, a child with the Grim Reaper, something that normally is not supposed to be happening, something that is against the laws of nature, if you have a child with the Grim Reaper, your children will be forever protected from evil. At least that's what Talia read in the old books. At least that was Talia was hoping for her and her children.